If your job at a healthcare facility includes disinfecting against viruses, you know prevention is the best medicine. And maintaining healthy spaces starts with a healthy cleaning routine. Grainger's world-class supply chain helps ensure you have the quality products you need when you need them. From disinfectants and cleaning supplies to personal protective equipment, so you can help deliver a clean bill of health. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome to the Scene Snobs podcast.
Welcome to the Scene Snobs podcast.
Hi, everybody.
It's Tuesday night, and we're here, as always.
Feeling all right, as usual.
It's 7 o'clock on the dot. I'm in my drop top, cruising the streets. I got a real pretty lady. That's where I go. That's where I am.
Yep,
That was the end of Mick's R&B career.
the whole career.
The whole career.
A heck of a run. We were really happy to be part of it.
What I need to do is like stay in the shadows and try and sound like Barry White, like, baby, how you doing with?
It's really uncomfortable if that's coming from the shadows, though.
It's got to be
like that's a little weird. Like, what's going on back there?
Could you imagine this giant guy in a fedora, and it's got to be a white fedora, standing in the shadows of in the corner of a room at like a recording studio, and it's just like, what is he doing? He's getting
all of a sudden he leans up and he's just like, baby, you're the one for me. Like just a smoke curling from incense, of course.
Oh no, it's going to be straight up weed.
No, just a joint.
Who knows though? Who knows if we'll be able to smoke weed next week or the week after that? Because let's face facts. I'm not getting political, but I am calling out our good old government.
There we go again. There you go again. Already. Like immediately. We decided last week news was a bad idea.
I know. I can't help it. They're changing things.
I know. They keep changing things foolishly.
Fuck you, SCOTUS. Anyway, welcome to our movie podcast. I hate everyone. Not everyone. I love the Snobs family.
I love the Snobs family. I love you. I love my daughter.
I know. I just want a better world for her and other women.
Same as you.
But unfortunately, we can't have nice things.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll let you guys in the comments curse. We'll talk about movies.
Yeah, we're switching off that real quick.
We're gonna. In other horrible government news, tomorrow is Star Wars.
Oh, yes, it is. Tomorrow will be May the 4th with, I believe you're talking about the evil empire represented in that part. Because the Galactic Republic was A-OK.
Was it, though?
No, it was not. It was miserable.
It was not that great.
No.
So both sides of that coin were not fantastic.
No.
But one was even more evil than the other.
One was substantially worse because, it enslaved populations. And then wiped out planets and subjugated a good chunk of the universe.
And I like how it went from the Galactic Republic to the Empire to basically the Nazis.
Yep, real quick.
It was like okay. I mean, nobody learned history in Star Wars. Like none of the characters, even the characters that were there, they didn't really understand history because you look at it and they're like, all right, and you kind of see with Mandalorian, like all of the former Empire employees.
Yeah, there you go, employees.
The former Empire employees are basically pissed off because they're like, you took away our way of life. Well, it hasn't even been like 30 years since you took away everybody else's way of life.
It feels a lot like the KGB. Like after, the Soviet bloc broke up, all of a sudden they just start taking over sectors. And they're like, this is ours. We will continue moving forward.
Does that make President Zelensky Luke Skywalker?
No, almost.
Almost.
It would make him more, because this is the post-breakup, this is like the First Order now. So this would be the First Order time frame. So he could be Luke Skywalker, but that means he's only got one good fight left in him, and I don't believe that.
He's pretty cool. Let's make him Poe.
Yeah, there you go.
He's
Poe Dameron. He's Poe Dameron as fuck.
Because I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what you say or what you think or how you feel about The Last Jedi. I have been on record as to say that I like The Last Jedi. It's not a great Star Wars movie. It is not a great sequel in a trilogy. Middle sequel in the trilogy. But it is a great Star Trek episode.
I enjoyed watching it. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Yeah, if you took the casino part out of it, it would have been a good movie. And if it wasn't,
I don't even think it was that. I think if you would honestly replaced it with something that would have given Finn more of a run, given Finn more of a direction and a purpose instead of just kind of being there.
And Rose too, because just her sister dying and her being upset, so it makes her join the fight. It was kind of flimsy. And people hated that character, and I don't know why. She wasn't bad at all. I thought she was very good.
She was fantastic. I think all the characters were great.
And I thought that should have been. Sorry, I was just going to say I thought that should have been Finn's love interest.
Yeah,
but whatever. They didn't know what to.
Hey, c'est la vie. It was good enough for me to enjoy. It is definitely not something that I recommend to friends. I still believe 4, 5, and 6. You want to watch Star Wars? There it is.
Absolutely. I mean, that's it. That's the one you go with. And then Mandalorian, of course, or Rogue One, of course.
Rogue One's right up top there. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Rogue One, if you know 4, 5, and 6, Rogue One is second.
I think you should watch Rogue One. I think, honestly, and I'm declaring this now for Star Wars Day 2022.
Sweeping declaration!
There is no more Holy Trilogy.
Okay.
There's a Holy Quadrilogy.
The quadrilogy?
Watch Rogue One. It's a must. Then you follow it up with the trilogy.
Treat it like a missile.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then enjoy you some Mando.
Yep. And then just Mando it up hard. And then watch the 2 episodes of Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. There's 2 episodes you watch. That's
2 episodes.
I will say,
what?
Are you coming to fight AJ? I mean, Iron Eagle's Top Gun argument the other night. Now Solo, Solo. Here's another thing. I like Last Jedi, but I really like Solo too.
I enjoyed Solo. I really enjoyed Solo. I think Solo got a really bad rap that didn't deserve. I think the story was wonderful. I think it was done well. It was fun, lighthearted, and I liked everybody. It was a good jaunt. It was fit well, and Lando crushed it.
There's a rule for me. Anything Chewie is in, I will watch.
Fair.
That's a must. I love Chewie. You know Chewie. He's my man.
Exactly. Well, you know me and Han. That's why it was very important to make sure they got Han right.
I wonder if I have that up. I wonder if I have that picture in here somewhere.
I'm sure.
I think I took it off. Damn it.
No.
I like that one.
But it's important. And they need to get it right. And they did. They did it by making Han Solo someone that you liked, who you believed he was positive. He was a hopeful person. And that's what I love is when you meet him in 4 in Star Wars, in New Hope, he's not hopeful. That's why he's so jaded and bitter, and he's a kind of anti everything.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for it, and that's what Solo is you see him lose and get double crossed and betrayed and have to double cross other people and forced to kind of do the right thing at the price of money in his own head. So I think the story was done well enough to be passable as far as canon, but I just enjoyed it and thought it was fun.
So let me ask you this then.
Shoot.
Star Wars Day coming out. I don't think this has ever happened before.
Yes.
Let's cut the line down the middle. We take Empire out. We know Empire is a must-watch all the way through.
Okay.
So Empire is going to be the neutral middle.
Okay.
Okay. So when I say you're dividing up the first half of Star Wars and the second half of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Empire, you end with Empire on that, or you start with Empire on that. Okay. Now, not for story's sake.
Okay. All right.
I'm talking about which is the better half. Ultimately, what's the better half with everything that came before or takes place before, or everything that takes place after?
Well, that's Clone Wars too, and Clone Wars is pretty strong.
And Rebels,
which I love. Rebels.
Bad Batch.
Oh, Bad Batch too.
Yeah,
that's hard.
I'm saying the first half. I think the first half is the most solid of the movies, and even if you just go movies.
No, if I just go movies, it's got to be the first half, and I can't believe I'm saying that, but 3 is too good.
3 is very good.
At the same token, no, I have to say the first half definitively because of Rogue One.
Now here's where it goes. Yeah. Well, AJ would disagree with you. He would say Solo, and I'm not against that because I really like Solo.
Fair. I still think Rogue One was just, in my opinion, is the best Star Wars movie because it makes you understand how dangerous Force users are and how ridiculous it is and what it's like being a dude on the ground and the extreme obstacles you have to overcome in the rebellion to attack the Empire. It's freaking nuts. It is mind-boggling how much work you have to put in to go up against the Empire and how many resources to throw at it just to get some schematics.
Which you need in the space station, you need.
Yeah.
Now, here's why I think the first half is going to be dominating after the 25th of May or 27th of May. Mm-hmm. Obi-Wan is coming out.
Yes, it is.
And I want to talk to you about, it's Star Wars Day tomorrow, so I want to talk to you about Obi-Wan tonight. You know that's my favorite character in Star Wars.
Yes, it is.
And I cannot wait to see everybody back in action.
Yep. It's going to be amazing. I mean, first of all, Ewan McGregor back as Obi-Wan crushed it. Super stoked.
What are your predictions?
I'm hoping we get Darth Maul, which I know they already said they swapped out Vader. So I'm kind of bummed about that. It would be cool if they had an allusion to it just to scratch that itch for some of us out there who are the Uber fans.
Well,
salivating at every corner going, is that a shadow? What does it look like?
Did you watch Rebels up until he fought and killed Maul in that?
Yeah.
See, you can do them all because Maul comes later.
Yep.
But the thing is, I think it would sully it because it's that moment of meeting again. They did it so good on Rebels and kind of just his stance. Mm-hmm. Everything he uses, every movement he uses is something he learned from somebody.
Yeah.
He learned it from Qui-Gon, or he learned it from Yoda, or he learned it from Anakin. And he takes that and defeats Darth Maul easily, like within seconds. And I mean, it's poetic, in my opinion.
That's fair.
And that's why I think they should leave that.
Yeah, you can keep that part. I am just hoping for a good show. I don't know what else to expect, man. The last time I speculated on Book of Boba Fett, I got burned. And I'm hoping we find out that they spend most of their money on that.
I don't think we're going to get burned with Obi-Wan.
I really hope not, man, because I was really bummed.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I think Obi-Wan, I'm not saying it's going to be perfect, but I think we're going to be excited. It's going to bring us back to before, like I was talking about that first half. Yeah. It's going to take us back there rather than be after, pre and post, as I should say.
It's going to be fun, too, because during being part of the outlying planets during the Empire, the days of the Empire, it's kind of wild. It's still a wild, wild west, It's not completely, it's the savage land, as it were. So it's kind of exciting to see that side of it. I like that time in the Empire when they were really clamping down, and it's going to be interesting to see if Obi-Wan is traveling around to find other Jedi. What's he going to stumble upon? Is he going to help anyone? Is he going to screw things up worse and maybe just draw Vader to the thing? So we'll see. But also, if we're going to not break from Forge canon, he doesn't meet him technically.
Well, we don't know because now a lot of speculation has been coming out from fans where when they meet on the Death Star, he does say I'm not something along the lines of like, I'm not the last, I'm not the same as the last time you saw me.
Yeah, but I mean that already happened.
Last time yeah, but it was. I think that one alludes to
more time previously,
previously. So
we'll see. I mean, we'll find out. I am excited to see what they're going to do because whatever they decide to do, it's Ewan McGregor crushing it, playing Sir Alex McGinnis. Wow, that was weird. Alec Guinness. I don't know why that came out terribly. Sorry.
I have a feeling we're going to go through. This is my prediction for it. And like AJ says, and I'm going to get to everybody's comments just a second. We're just doing some Star Wars talk. I want Kenobi to be dark, no happy endings. I don't think it's going to be a happy ending, but I think it's going to be a bittersweet ending.
It has to be. It can't be happy. There is no happy ending for Obi-Wan until he dies and helps Luke. That time of him dropping him off on planet is probably the hardest time for him on his life, because he's done. The order's gone. Everything he knows is gone, and it has been gone for a matter of days.
And I think the whole purpose of this is going to push us to realize, and Obi-Wan to realize, why he just needs to stay in hiding.
Yeah. I hope it goes to that point, and why he needs to protect Luke, and like the lengths he needs to go now. And it's going to be interesting to see where they take him and what age they put him in. How old is he going to be? At what point is he going to finally realize, I can't be doing this shit? Can't run around the galaxy. Can't run around the planet anymore. I
feel like it's just going to be him. He wasn't hiding. He was kind of in hiding, just watching Luke, but now he's like probably trying to, like, maybe he hears of a Jedi that might be alive. So he goes to travel a little bit, and he thinks he can do it sly. And then it just starts, the Inquisitors come out, and it's just going to get harder and harder. It's going to lead to this whole thing. I think there is going to be another battle between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader. Officially Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Because, yes, he was in Darth Vader in name.
No, he was still Darth Vader.
I mean, he was. Yes. He had officially
Darth
crossed
Vader
over to the
like
dark side.
All of his parts.
He did officially cross over to the dark side. You are absolutely 100% right. And I am not taking that away.
Yeah, the red, orange eyes and shit.
He wasn't the Darth Vader as we know him decked out. Of course.
He didn't have the black visage as we know now and love our Darth Vader.
And when he sees Darth Vader, because he had never seen Darth Vader in that outfit.
Mm-hmm.
So he's never seen him that way.
Yeah.
And when you see him in The New Hope, he doesn't react to him being that way, which we get why. We know ultimately why. But I think that's why they need to meet now, and that's got to be Obi-Wan looking at his old friend and seeing what he actually did to him.
Yeah, kind of having to live with that, having to deal with that.
Yeah.
And maybe, I'm surprised he doesn't. I'm excited to see. Like, in my mind, I just came up with 5 different things. Like, is he going to fight him harder? Is he going to try to, like, be more upset with him and be like, how dare you live? Like, would he be like, let me take this pain away from you? You're suffering. But, like, maybe that's also what feeds Vader. So many things.
I think he just knows he needs to protect. And I think Joel Edgerton's going to play Uncle Owen in it. Yep. And he's going to try and get into the fight a little bit more. And that's going to lead Obi-Wan to finally say, I have to go into hiding. You have to just stay a moisture farmer. Mm-hmm. Shut up. Luke is way too important for this.
Yeah, I hope that's really what it turns into. And I'm just excited for Joel Edgerton, man. Freaking love that guy. Such a great actor. And
I would love it if Obi-Wan's fights, especially his Force fights in this, age him throughout the series. And that's why he looks like Alec Guinness in the...
You did it too. I got you.
Yeah. So that's my hopes for it. I am very excited for it. I'm very excited for Star Wars Day tomorrow. I'm sure we're gonna get another trailer tomorrow. It's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah. There's so many. What else do you think we're gonna get tomorrow? Are they gonna like say that Rogue went one, or what's the TV show that was coming out? Or it was the movie, Patty Jenkins' movie, Rogue Squadron.
Well, Rogue Squadron, but there's nothing about that right now. I've been keeping my ear to the stone on that. She has done nothing with it yet, which I get. I mean, she's busy penning the next Wonder Woman. She's got a few other things going.
Oh, is Wonder Woman actually going forward, number 3?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're not giving up that one. Even after the second one. Gal Gadot came out and was just like, listen, we're working on it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great. So I have no doubt they're going to keep her around. You don't lose that commodity. That's an asset to Warner Brothers.
Very true. And I do enjoy the Wonder Woman story. I like the characters. I didn't like 84, but I thought it was just a poor movie more than it was the character failed. Nothing really suffered as much as the movie itself was just everything felt nerfed.
I agree. I definitely agree.
It was trying to take a superhero and turn them into a game. Yeah. It was Thor. Thor done opposite and not well.
But in other news, before we get started on our dissection of the Critters franchise, Doctor Strange premiered last night for it was his official premiere and press junket.
Yeah.
Now everybody's coming out. I have the full rundown. I am not going to spoil anything. I do have an AMA up on our Discord.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can go there and ask me anything if you want spoilers, but just know it's under the superhero channel. Do not go there if you don't want spoilers.
Do not go there.
I've already had some questions. Radar came in and asked me some questions. So if you don't want spoilers, don't come in. I am going to tell you this and the reason that I have the full rundown is because I don't care about spoilers. I don't care what's coming out. It doesn't bother me. And when I'm writing for cinemareviewed.com now, and my editor is putting it out there. We had a guy from Cinema Reviewed go last night, and he came out and he's like, who wants a rundown? I won't say anything if you don't want one, but if you want one. And our editor was like, if some of you would, because then we can be prepared to write something in advance.
Right, yeah.
And then that way we can write something up, and then I won't put mine out until after I see the movie and I can add my opinions to it and such. But I do have a rundown on what happens with everything.
Plot points along the way, stuff you need to pay attention to. Yeah.
Yeah, so everybody keep a lookout for that. We're also going to be doing our review of Doctor Strange on Thursday. It could be out Thursday night. I'm going to see it at 3 p.m. on Thursday. And then I will also have a full review video and an article on Cinema Reviewed tomorrow for Moon Knight. So the full series.
Sweet. So excited for that to finish too.
Yeah.
Oh, am so for that, man.
It is so good. But everybody, just so you know, when it comes to Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, the great reviews that I've been hearing about is it's a damn near perfect movie. And from everything I was told and I've read, it is a damn near perfect movie. But don't go in with expectations.
I am expecting to see Benedict Cumberbatch do a kick-ass job as Strange. I am expecting to see Rachel McAdams be fucking awesome.
Well, shut that shit down and just expect Elizabeth Olsen to steal this movie. That's what everyone's saying.
Well, no, that's going to happen. And that's supposed to happen because she's phenomenal. Everyone underrates her. And then you go watch her and it's like, she's so good. I mean, I think Paul Bettany's one of the better actors of our time. And she stands toe to toe and just squashes him.
Paul Bettany, you mean Johnny Depp's friends he does drugs with?
The actor from Wimbledon. Yeah, that guy.
That is still my favorite question. So Paul Bettany is your friend you do drugs with, right? That's an odd question. It's so bad. I know I'm super excited for Doctor Strange and Moon Knight to end and see what's what and kind of go forward. But So guys, as you know, Carolina Fear Fest is coming up. It's the end of May.
Carolina Fear Fest.
It's Memorial Day weekend. It goes Friday through Sunday. We are official reps. We're going to be there all weekend. We're going to be doing the live streaming. We're going to be doing the celebrity interviews, the panels, vendors, the whole 9 yards. We will be around doing it. We're going to play games. We're going to have a good time. So if you can come out, come out. It's in Raleigh, North Carolina at the North Carolina State Fairgrounds. It's going to be a great time. It
is a blast, and it is a wonderful time from the wonderful volunteers to the amazing show they put on, all the guests, all the vendors. We always have a blast with the vendors. The people are there. The vehicles, man. I love the vehicles. They're going to have the Jeepers Creepers car there,
and that's the official car from the movie.
Yeah, how cool is that?
Yeah,
I'm pretty stoked for that. So just fun stuff, man. Great weekend, and it's always a blast. So I'm excited.
Oh yeah, and if you can come down, see the Scene Snobs at their table. Again, we are official reps to it, so when we're there, come down. We are doing what is it called? Stump the Scene Snob, where you ask me a horror movie question, and if I can't guess it, I have a lifeline. That man right there, I get one lifeline per question, and if he can't answer it, you guys win like a little trophy. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
It's going to be cool, and we're super excited to see everybody there. If you can be there in person, be there. If not, check us out here in your virtual machine.
We will be live streaming. But since we're doing that and we're celebrating horror, which we love doing, and it's halfway to Halloween, we thought this month we would spend the month in each episode dissecting horror movie franchises.
Yes, because what else is there to do in the middle of May but to watch a boatload of horror movies? Yeah. There's nothing worthwhile. I mean, everything I try to do outside just makes me sneeze a lot. So that's not fun.
We haven't, and what's funny? We have 3 down. So we did Sleepaway Camp franchise last week.
Mm-hmm. We did.
So go check out that episode if you haven't. It was a fun one. But we are doing Critters tonight.
Yes.
And an official announcement I was supposed to give on Geek Fest Live, but I forgot to last week because I'm an idiot.
Do it now. Fuck it, we'll do it live.
We'll do it live. Let's just do it. May 13th, set your calendars for 7 p.m. We're having a 2-hour special.
Boom!
State of the Con, the Scene Snobs podcast special, where we are going to have some guests on. We're going to be talking about horror, especially dissecting the Friday the 13th franchise. So jump in, be a part of it with the comments, watch the fun guests come in. We're going to be talking about Carolina Fear Fest a little bit more. And next Tuesday, for everybody who watches and listens, you're going to get a very special flash sale that isn't supposed to go on sale until May 13th. But Scene Snobs fans alike will get it next Tuesday, and we'll announce it then. I'm not announcing it tonight.
No, but what little surprise. So make sure you join us next Tuesday, as you're wont to do anyway, because it's us. And we love you, and you love us, and we all want to hang out. So check us out on Tuesday and find out what we have in store for you. Super stoked we're doing a Friday the 13th episode.
Yep.
Bro, how awesome is that going to be? So we're going to be bringing it with the Friday the 13th franchise. I think we should just maintain franchising.
Oh, yeah. And we're doing it from 7. We're originally going to do it from 8 to 10. We're doing it from 7 to 9 because we don't want to lose the Joe Bob crowd, because we know Joe Bob is going to be broadcasting at 9 p.m. So all of our horror fans there can jump in as well.
Exactly.
It's going to be a fun time. So, guys, make sure you join in, check out the guests, and have a great time with us. All right, Case.
Sweet.
I think it's time to dissect some horror, because we've been watching some critters.
Bro, I've been starving. I didn't realize that I could want to eat more, and then I started watching Critters, and all I've done is eat. I have just watched this movie, let my brain melt a little bit, and eaten all the trash I can find around my house. Because watching a movie where the title creature does nothing but eat, I don't know. I've got a weird connection to that, man. I feel these things. These space escape bugs with hair and mouths, and all they do is eat and then form up into units. I feel them.
You know what? And this is like a feel-good eating movie. Like
it really is.
You have to curl up with some food.
Mm-hmm.
And watch these movies. So before we get started, you watched the first 4.
Yeah. So I watched the first one and the second one like I was in it. I love those movies. They were not the movies I remember. They were far better. Like, these movies somehow have aged fantastically.
What do you think?
What do you
think about these movies? Like, getting back into them, I know you've seen them years ago, but like watching them for the first time as an adult, what's it like? What's your whole, like, does it blow your mind how ridiculous they are?
It really does. So first of all, I think I watched the first one on like USA's Up All Night, which I do reference here quite a bit, but I'm pretty sure it was around that era. And this was not the movie I remembered. It is way funnier. It is far more ridiculous. Everyone has way longer pauses than I remember. Like, the amount of times in the second one where people stop with a knowing look and then smile. They do that and then hold it for like 4 seconds. The scene is way too long. Yeah. And then they jump to another person who subsequently does the same thing. And I wasn't sure if it was just me, so I had to rewatch the second one. Because I wasn't sure if I maybe had just smoked a little too much. Maybe I was just too inebriated to fully grasp everything that was coming through the screen. And maybe my brain was just moving slow. I could have been having a stroke. I could have been stroking out. But no, in fact, it was just Critters. It was just watching Critters. And then the fact that they have way too much sitcom music. There is so much sweeping, happy sitcom music out of nowhere. Like, it plays really loud and makes you feel like you were not watching the movie, where I felt like I could watch these with my daughter. Like, these are not scary in any way, shape, or form. The second one, you only really have to worry about the boobs and swearing. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
You know, that's
time on that one too.
That's it. But I mean, the bounty hunters are probably some of the greatest characters who do not get cosplayed enough. I texted you that we need to cosplay the bounty hunters. because I think they are freaking awesome.
Dude, I will tell you this when it comes to the Critters movies. I remember the first one. I was a kid. I watched it, but before I even watched it, I remember seeing the trailers.
Yeah,
and the movie terrifying me.
Yep, same.
I was real young because I think the first one came out in '86. Yeah, '86.
Yeah,
so I'm 4.
Yeah,
so I'm probably watching the trailers. I probably saw the trailers as a kid for the movie coming out, but I'm talking about really seeing it maybe when it came out on VHS a couple years later. So I'm probably around 6 or so. This movie terrified me. I remember watching it when I was probably around 8 or 9, and it was scary.
Scary.
It was scary.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
When those lights go out in the house and the family's stuck in there and like dad is bitten, and
that was scary.
It was terrifying.
Yeah. And I remember, I know what you're talking about. I remember the VHS cover, because I would walk by it every day at my video store when I was there, and I'd be like, man, it was creepy.
It's so creepy. And then you watch that first one, but then you watch it as an adult and you're like, this is dippy. Like this is like this jokes.
Yeah.
They don't care. They're rolling with it.
Oh.
I mean, it had horror elements, definitely. I would argue the second one did not have horror elements.
Yeah, look, the second one was trying to have horror elements, but they just they almost leaned into it. They didn't quite sell out. They just leaned into it. And then some studio producer came by and was like, look, I have a cousin who does music. And we're going to use his score for this. It was supposed to be the score for Cuffs. But unfortunately, someone else edged him out. So
I love Cuffs. That's a great movie.
I know you do.
I'll tell you what. This Critters 2. First of all, it's an Easter movie.
Yes.
I forgot that it was an Easter movie. I haven't seen
because they paint the eggs and everything that wind up being the Critters' eggs. Because the bounty hunters also suck. As wonderful as they are terrible at their jobs.
They mowed some down in that store.
But they kept leaving them there. They just left. They didn't hunt down anymore. They're like, one ran away, and they're like, good thing we got all the Krites. And they do this weird, awkward, like, I'm going to miss you forever, ugh. And then
there's like 100 of them just sitting outside eating cows. It's so bad. I will so now we at least have a movie we can watch on Easter now, a horror movie.
That is true. We always will now have Critters 2.
But I will say this.
And thing about the hungry heifer, where you won't get a bum cow.
Or the fact that Charlie lived. The fact that Charlie, that bastard, lived at the end. And then there were 2 Charlies. There's cool-ass bounty hunter Charlie and Charlie the Dope.
Yeah, but Charlie the Dope is who I want to be. Not Charlie the Dope in 1 or 2, because in 1 he's drunk. I don't like that guy. In the second one, he was, he was bumbling. He was way too bumbling, and he destroyed the ship. You don't destroy the ship. You use the weapons, but that's fine. It's neither here nor there. I really enjoy Charlie in the third one when he's the crazy person hiding in pits and scaring children.
Oh my God, right? This guy's life devolved into nothingness. And I get it because he was the town drunk. He was like the dullard. He was the dullard of the town.
And why would the bounty hunter at the end of 2 is like, come with us, Charlie? And he's like, no, this is where I belong. It's like, no, you don't.
No, you don't. The thing that pissed me off about that ending was that it went from the beginning, he felt like he had a purpose. He felt like, I'm one of them. I feel like I'm a part of this and I'm good at it. And then he's like, nah. I'm like, what? You just proved you were good at it.
They just did the whole Charlie bounty hunter thing for the entire movie. And we get to the end and he's like, nah, Earth for this one Brad kid who's kind of a dunk. Who's just like a jerk who took like 45 minutes to try to kiss the girl. Like, why did that take so long?
And never came back.
Never
comes back.
Nope, done.
Of course, played by, in the first and second movie, of course, Brad played by the great Scott Grimes.
The wonderful Scott Grimes.
Casey mentioned to me, which I did know, but Casey mentioned it, and I want to give him credit for it, was that he is the best pilot in the universe on the Orville.
Yes. Yes, in his own mind.
If you don't know that, that's this ship right here.
Boom. Yeah, the Orville. What's up?
Yeah, baby.
Love Scott Grimes, man. And seeing the young Scott Grimes, I was like, I forgot he was a child actor.
Yeah, you know what, Jason Taylor brings up a good point. He does turn into like that harbinger character in third one.
Yeah.
And he is kind of the harbinger in the first one as well. Nobody wants to listen to him or whatever. And then the second one, like, he's not a harbinger. He's one of the bounty hunters. So, like, it's like he went from harbinger is a dullard but still works to having a good job, being clean, doing his thing, and then just like, nah, I'm going to stay, bro. To harbinger who's just straight up crazy Ralph.
Who seriously just puts on, like, the tinfoil hat. Like, he's nuts. He's nuts. And it's not like he's close nuts, like, oh, he's trying to contact him again. They brought him back to, like, the first round nuts, just without booze. And I just didn't like it, man. I didn't like the devolvement of that character. I wish he had stayed a bounty hunter. I'm kind of disappointed with the direction they took Charlie. Like, hey, Charlie, you got everything going for you. Say screw it and hang out here on Earth. Like, what?
Yeah, it really was. Like, because the first one takes place in 86. The second one came out in 88. They're two very 80s horror movies. They're very much very 80s. You know, because it's sequel 80s. Like, the first one was a little more horror, but it had comedic elements. Then the second one was like straight up like horror comedy. Like,
it was a joke. It was how far can we go with this? You know, it was turning into the giant critter ball. You know, that just was being chased down by a truck. Like, come on.
Remember when they all like got together in the first one and became just a giant critter?
Yeah, when they just formed a big critter, and I thought they were going to do that again, and instead it becomes critter ball, and I'm like, well, I mean, that's where we're going, I guess. That's
at what point did the critters get together and just like Indiana Jones this shit?
Yeah, seriously.
Let's do that.
Or when they run over the one dude, they chase down that one guy, and he just like it shears him off.
Yeah,
like,
that was pretty funny.
Like,
I thought that was pretty funny when they did that.
Hilarious.
But you get him, and it's in the small town of Grover's Bend, the first two. Small little farming community.
Which Grover's Bend, is that a legit place? Because they
Grover's Bend, if I'm correct. I'm going to check it now because I did not do my research.
I believe they filmed it at Grover's Bend. I believe that is, in fact, a Grover's Bend.
Grover's Bend is a fictional town in which two of the first two Critters movies tetralogy take place. It's a fictional, but here's the funny part. It's fake, but at the end of the movie, at the end of the second one, they thank the town of Grover's Bend.
They have a special thanks. That's why I was like, were they at Grover's Bend? Are they trying to make it like this was a documentary?
Well, there was I think it was Grover's Corner back in the day. Remember was it Orson Welles did that? You know, hey, the aliens are coming. Blah blah blah.
Oh, War of the Worlds.
Yeah. I thought it was Grover's Corner, but it might not have been. It was like a real place in Jersey.
Huh.
Are
any places real in Jersey? Or are they super real, bro?
Are you just mad because aliens actually came to New Jersey first and were like, hey, this is a nice place. We're going to stay. And that's it.
What they did. They stayed in Jersey.
They're like, we're going to help you out here.
It explains so much. Did they help?
Yes, they did help. It's the greatest state ever. Yeah, it is. We're going to break apart and we're going to be our own place. Cool. I don't even live there, and I'm saying we. Because once you're there, it's like Venom. We're all just one mind in New Jersey.
We are legion, for we are many.
That's why we don't like the Jersey Shore guys, because only one of them's from New Jersey, and she didn't come back.
Yeah.
When they did the reunion show, she was like, no, I'm good. This is too much.
Like, screw you, weirdos.
Yeah. So she was the smart one. And she was the least like them.
Yeah.
In the weirdest way. So yeah. I maintain. Anyway, back to Critters, because we were talking about Grover's Bend and how the first two take place in Grover's Bend, which is Brad's town. Which I like how when he comes back, it's just like, you're the crazy kid. And it's like,
yeah, what was that about? Because it was real.
What?
Like, even Sal, who's, wait a minute, I got to bring this. I want to get this right. Sally, the character played by Lynn Shay.
Oh, it's Lynn Shay. Yes, what's his name's wife.
Yeah. So she's amazing. I loved her. Yeah. And but in the second one, it's like they all were mind wiped or something. Like it didn't happen. And I'm like, what? But all of this is substantiated and real. And like you lost friends and family. Like, what the fuck?
Well, let me ask you this, though, because at the beginning of the movie, so like Brad is clearly, first of all, it's from 1986 to 1988.
Yeah.
Brad clearly looks like he went from a child to 18. I don't know how they did that. I don't know if he just hit puberty at that moment, like it was like 1987.
I mean, that's the only thing I can imagine, because he got like a 16-year-old look to him. And I'm pretty sure in the first movie, only 2 years prior, he was 10.
It screws you up when you watch him back to back. Because so he was born in 1971. He's 50 years old now. So by the time that came out, so you're telling me in the first movie, he was 15 years old?
I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that for a freaking second, because he looked
he didn't
like
hit puberty
by
15. He didn't hit puberty by 15.
He was a late bloomer, and that's okay. We're not here to judge.
No, I'm not judging, but like he's clearly a teenager. All right, I'm pulling up a picture of this. So
you got a side by side.
I'm pulling up a picture of both. I have to pull up a picture of both of them.
Well, and his earring too from 1988 really aged him.
So
made him more hip.
It's so weird. Like I'm looking at the pictures now and I'm like, how does this work? How does he exist?
Scott Grimes, man. He's such a good actor. He can actually lower or increase his age per the role.
These pictures are weirding me out, man.
Because he can do it, man. He's got a special set of skills.
Then he should be the greatest actor that ever lived.
Well, and also Critters might have been released in 86, but who's to say it was shot maybe in 85?
Yeah, but I mean, still, I agree with you. Generally how movies work, but
right.
It's a stretch, my friend. It's a stretch. Where did I put that other
He's
picture?
Just an incredible actor. I must be a gifted talent.
I can't with this. Like I'm looking at him and I'm like, this can't be you.
See, he uses age the same way that Christian Bale uses weight.
That might... How though?
On demand.
How's that possible? How can you do that? That doesn't seem right.
Maybe he's a fucking sorcerer. I don't know.
It's so.
He was married to Adrian Padalecki. He's probably made some deals with the devil.
Well, he was. He's not married to her.
That was. I'm saying for any stretch of time to.
All right, so listeners, you're just going to have to look this up for yourself. But anybody who's watching right now, this is Scott Grimes in the first movie.
Yeah, young baby face.
That's 15-year-old Scott Grimes.
No, that's got to be 14. I'm sorry, he had to have shot this at 14.
14-year-olds. Wait, 19. Yeah, so it would be 13 or 14 years old when he filmed. Let's say that. But that's let's say 14-year-old Scott Grimes.
Yes, 14-year-old Scott Grimes, young lad who looks. I mean, you could definitely play an 11-year-old kid. I could put him there.
Yeah, definitely in this picture. And then, so the next movie comes out 2 years later. So even if it comes out 2 years later for Easter, that means they shot it in 87. So he's still only 2 years older. So let's say he's 16 now.
Yeah.
And that's him.
And he damn near looks 18.
He does. He looks.
He really like the longer hair, the earring, the weird tweed jacket that I'm kind of in love with. But
he's way taller.
Way taller. Oh, he sprouted quite a few inches.
And I know, I don't want to hear what anybody else say. I know how filmmaking works. I know what an Apple box is, but this is legitimately, he hit puberty within, they were like, we got to get on Critters 2 because he's growing too fast.
He's growing way too fast. And then in Critters 3, he looked like he was 40 and they're like, it's too late.
He wasn't in Critters 3, was he?
No, I know that was the problem. He was too old.
That was the problem. So Critters 3, we get everybody back except for him.
Yeah.
But we add Leonardo DiCaprio. So let's talk about the celebrities in this movie. Let's break that down before we get into our topic.
Okay. I have to do something first and mention in the first one, my MVP for the first movie is Dee Wallace, by the way.
Yeah, I love her.
She was phenomenal. Like, as far as from an acting standpoint, I loved her. She was great. She only had one absurd, outrageous wail that was way too over the top, unnecessary, where the mom just doesn't do anything and is screaming at the dad, hitting at him like, go get Brad. It's like,
yeah, go save your son. Yeah,
go save your son. Meanwhile, he's just staring like, huh? He was terrible. He was fucking...
I'm going to state this right now. You take Scott Grimes out of it because, Scott Grimes is well known, but I wouldn't call him like a major celebrity.
Yeah, fair.
But I will say that maybe not at the time, but there were major celebrities in every one of these movies.
Yeah.
But let me run this through you real quick.
I mean, Emmett Walsh was a pretty big deal, and he was in the first one.
You're thinking low, buddy. You're thinking character actors. I'm going. Dee Wallace was a big celebrity in the 80s.
Yes.
But fine, then you still have Billy Zane, which blew up to be a bigger celebrity.
Billy Zane, bro.
Yep.
I love Billy Zane in that, playing the weird, cool, hip teenager. Oh, he was so awful.
And that's the first movie. So I'm skipping the second movie for a second. Then you go to the third movie. You have Leonardo DiCaprio.
Leonardo DiCaprio, one of the greatest Frisbee players ever.
I love that. I love how you put it like that. But we do have to at least mention, like, he is like one of the biggest actors probably the biggest actor of all time. He's huge. Everybody knows
He's the top five
top
right
five,
now. You could never
I'm not saying
say his name.
I'm not saying the best.
No,
he is like a really well-known A-list celebrity.
Exceptionally well-known, high level. Everyone knows who he is. You may have only seen one movie of his, but you've seen something. There's that many.
So he's in Critters 3, which is the apartment building Critters.
Yes.
And he's the big star from that. But, I mean, you have Amy Brooks in it. You got a few people show up and stuff like that. But nobody big, like huge. But Leonardo DiCaprio's in it. Then you get to 4, which takes place in space.
Yeah, which 4 was ridiculous.
And you have Angela Bassett and Brad Dourif. Angela Bassett and Brad Dourif are in this movie.
I mean, Brad Dourif is big time because this came out what, 92? Yeah. So Critters 4 comes out in 92. You've got Terrence Mann and Brad Dourif. Brad Dourif is pretty big at this point. I mean,
that's not the Terrence Mann you're thinking of.
No, I realized. Yeah, I realized. Yep.
He comes back and he gets his Terrence Mann look back, the Johnny Steele or whatever his name was.
Yeah, Johnny Fever.
No, Steele. Johnny Fever's from WKRP of Cincinnati.
Wow, that's right.
Johnny Blaze is from
life, apparently.
Yeah, so you have these huge celebrities. So now let's go back to the main course. Let's go back to 2. Eddie
the best. Which, by the way, when we're saying all this, I want to preface and known that 2 is my favorite, and this is a movie that I will rewatch many, many times for the rest of my life now.
Eddie Dezian from Grease is the biggest star in this movie. He's the biggest star in this movie. And he's
Sam
in it
Anderson was pretty big, and Lynn Shay was big, right?
Lynn Shay, no, not back then. Lynn Shay's star came much later. Like, and even that now, if you look back, if you go back, like, yes, clearly Billy Zane was probably the biggest star in the first one. Leonardo DiCaprio is the biggest star in the third one. Angela Bassett's the biggest star in the fourth one. And the second one, the biggest star would probably be either Scott Grimes or Lynn Shay.
Or Roxanne Kernowen, who was the Playboy Playmate. That was the Playboy Playmate. I'm just saying she's probably
she died in 92.
Yeah, but she's probably pretty well known.
No, I don't think so. For what? Tango and Cash? Nude girl in Tango and Cash?
That's obviously who I remember her as.
I mean, nothing against her. Like, she did her acting and she did her job and she did great. And I had no problems. I love when she pulls a staple out of her belly. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, it was hilarious. Like, oh,
I like how they copy him right down to that. Like, it was fantastic. And no blood comes out or anything. It's not like
it's just literally like pulling off the top. Barry Corbin was probably pretty huge.
I don't know who Barry Corbin is. Don't lie.
He's the one who plays Marv.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I know his face, but I don't know what else he's been in.
I'm trying to think. He's a lot of stuff.
No, I've seen him in tons of stuff. I can't place like some of the movies he was in. Like,
so at that point, he had done MASH, the TV show.
Okay, yeah, I see now. I pulled up his stuff. Like, he'd done a lot of stuff. Yeah,
I mean, I've in Texas. So he was a Honky Tonk Man.
He's a character actor.
Yeah, War Games. I always loved him. He's in a ton of stuff that I love. So he's probably one of the bigger names at that point in 1986.
You're kind. You're just.
I'm trying to be.
You're a very kind guy. I will say, Dissecting Critters. What do you give this? Because there is a fifth one, by the way. It came out in 2019. There was a TV show as well that came out, but it's terrible. Don't follow it. The movie follows the movies. The TV show is completely separate.
which I need to watch that. And I'm
No.
legitimately saying I'm going to end this show tonight and watch it because I love Critters.
And the biggest star in that is Dee Wallace. She comes back.
Get out for real. Awesome.
Yeah, she
Awesome.
comes back to it. And it's pretty cool to see her come back, and she's playing that character. It would have been funny to see like Brad come back and just be like, "Mom, what are you doing?"
Scott Grimes comes back. Oh, let's pull for Critter 6. I want Scott Grimes back as Brad.
Do you
Brad
think
is back and he's got Charlie with him?
Let's end it with this. Let's end the dissection with this. Do you think if they made a remake of this, a straight up remake, it should go fully dark or be another horror comedy?
One of my all-time favorites that I always go back to relate all things to horror comedy is Slither. I think Slither is one that dances the line perfectly.
Yeah.
As witty, scary. There are weird parts, and it's a monster movie at the end of the day, which I freaking love. So Critters is a movie that they need to commit to the horror comedy genre. I don't think you can try to do this as an overly dark movie. It won't work. The titular characters lend themselves to too many jokes. And I think it's better to have the jokes, quite frankly. It makes it enjoyable and it makes it rewatchable, more importantly. If it was a super dark movie that got real serious and they tried, sure, it might be fantastic for one viewing, but I'm not going to watch it again. And it's not going to be fun. It's not going to be something I'm going to enjoy watching repeatedly. Overdoing this movie and making it dark, I think, would do it a disservice to what it is.
All right. Can't really argue with you on that. And I don't know. I don't think I'd mind a dark one, but I do agree with you about the rewatchability factor. Because the originals you're definitely going to rewatch, but at least the first two.
Yeah, the first two, hands down. The third one, maybe if I go on some weird trip with my friend where we decide to watch only thirds. They should
remake it with DiCaprio, but it's giant. It's polar bear Kreitz.
I really want this to be Scott Grimes, Leonardo DiCaprio come back and do this again for Critter 6.
No, I want just DiCaprio, but we tell him you can pick your cast and we'll pay you however much you want. And it's just him and a bunch of models. And then they just start throwing tribbles at him.
Just running around going, kill Kreitz.
Kill Kreitz. Anyway, Leonardo DiCaprio back as Josh. What?
And I also would like to say, so actually, I do have a question for you.
Okay.
What is your main takeaway from after having rewatched Critters? How do you feel on the franchise as a whole? What have you taken away from it?
It's got its merit. I'm glad it exists. I am very glad it exists.
Something you will be excited to introduce your sons to one day?
I did, actually, because I remember Psycho Cinema showed Critters, and I took Tommy.
Awesome.
And he really liked it. He was like, this is really good. So I can't wait to show Jack, too. I think he'll really like it. I think the puppetry is amazing by the Chiodo brothers. And they made these little things, just based on wanting to do something that's sort of Gremlins type. And they did a good job.
Oh, yeah. I love the monsters. The creatures are fantastic. But if you're going to give yourself that many opportunities for jokes, don't close the jokes.
I think taking Gremlins away and making that the Mecca, the top tier.
Okay. You're not putting Ghoulies up there?
No. Gremlins is top tier.
Yeah, Gremlins is a number
Nobody
one.
touches it.
Yep, agreed.
And then Critters is the best one of that subgenre. Those little creature. And Ghoulies is I like Ghoulies, don't get me wrong. But
Ghoulies
Critters,
much darker though, yeah.
Critters is the one that's like right after Gremlins.
I agree. I think for me, Critters is in that same position.
Yes, Radar. I did watch that dog shit show. I was so mad. It was funny. There were some funny elements to it, but it really pissed me off in a lot of ways too, because I was like, that's where they lost. Like they kind of did in 2019 too, but they had some cool death scenes. But like in the TV show, it was like, oh, you're just going comedy. You don't even know what the first one was.
Yeah, see, you've got to give some respect and love to the idea that it wound up being funny because we were able to laugh with it, even at the parts we were laughing at.
Yeah.
Whereas the second one went, oh, no, they're laughing at us. We're going to go with it. You know, it was just a different sort of deal, and they crushed it. And I love the creatures. I love the outrageousness and just pushing the envelope of absurdity, and it does it well.
Well, Casey, I think we need to move on to our main topic because it is 9:55.
We will actually hit both topics tonight.
We did, and more because we talked about Obi-Wan and such.
That's fair.
Radar, I know you said you never saw it. Just leave it. I would watch the 2019 one, but I would just leave the series alone. It was terrible. Okay. Some of the worst, most terrible henchmen in movies. Yes. Sound off in the comments, guys. We want to hear them. Hey, Bob, thanks for joining in. Thanks for everybody for joining in. Corinne,
yeah, thanks everybody.
Radar,
Corinne,
Jason,
Radar, Jason. It's great to see you guys. I love you all. Your beautiful, wonderful, smiling faces. Kathleen's in there. Paul's in there.
Kathleen. Funny science fiction. Bunch of y'all joined in. We appreciate you. So we're talking about terrible. Oh, remember to hit the like button, everybody. That helps us on.
Yeah. Like, subscribe, do all the things.
And then tomorrow, go to iTunes and rate and review us. 5 stars.
That's right. 5 stars. Tell us how you really feel.
And that better be nice.
Doesn't have to be. It's America.
I want it to be.
Or whatever nation you're in.
Fair. So terrible movie henchmen. What do you got for me? Because I know who I know who's number one on my list.
So I'm starting strong right out the gate. I think one of the worst movie henchmen of all time is Darth Vader.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, because he killed his boss. If I hire a henchman, you know what I don't want him to fucking do first and foremost is kill me.
That's you right out of the gate, Casey. I feel like you kind of winded me on that one. Like seriously, like this is a podcast, and I'm speechless. I'm like, I'm done. The conversation's over because like mine is way different than yours. You went right to Darth Vader, and I'm like,
yeah, because Darth Vader was shit.
I mean,
as a henchman, look, as a Sith Lord, he was great. As a father, he left a lot to be desired.
That's true.
But as a henchman, because he is technically a henchman, he's at the bidding and behest of someone more powerful who's ordering him around.
He's kind of at the bidding of Grand Moff in the first one.
Exactly. And he is shit. Because he's also a jerk to both of them. Kind of like Kylo Ren was. Like, Kylo Ren's just whiny and shitty to everybody else. And it's like, yeah, we get it. You're a jerk.
The fucking stupid over here is going to throw a temper tantrum soon.
Yeah, watch out for whiny McJerkface, who's just about to slash up another room we're going to have to clean up and retrofit. Thanks a lot, guy.
Wait a second. You remember Twilight Zone, the movie, when they did the kid who could make anything happen with his mind? And it was a Twilight Zone episode, so everybody who's watching or listening, I know it was an original Twilight Zone episode. I'm talking about the movie right now. So shut up. No. Where the kid can do anything he thinks about, and like if he gets mad, he turns his family into like a Jack in the Box, shit like that. Mm-hmm. Tell me that's not Darth Vader as a kid.
Oh, 100%.
100%.
1,000%.
Like,
in fact,
you have to be nice to the guy.
They played him too nicely in the first one in Phantom Menace because he's a kid who actually didn't throw those temper tantrums and fits the way he really should have.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think that his mom was taken by the Sand People, or she realized, this dude's going to choke me out? He's done it before as a kid. I'm just going to roll with the Sand People and let him take me.
I mean, I think Shmi was just down to hang out with whoever. And like maybe it was just some kink thing and he showed up and that's really what freaked him out.
Good on her.
That's why he all kirked out and killed all the kids and the women and the family and everybody.
She's in the TP with the Sand People doing, lines, and she has a heart attack and dies, and like all the Sand People are like, "Oh man, Shmi, you're great at a party." And like all she wants to do is get away from Owen's dad and just like, I'm out of here. He sucks. I'm going.
So we're gonna do some spice in the desert.
It's like Ramachan or whatever that the Amish people do. They're not going to get mad because they don't watch this. So, because I get it wrong. But it's like that. Like, she goes out and she's just having some fun. She's like, I'm not a slave anymore.
Rumspringa is what you were trying to say.
Rumspringa, whatever. Still, they're not going to watch it.
Rosh Hashanah is a different thing entirely.
I didn't say Rosh Hashanah. I said Ramstein. I don't know.
Fair enough.
I did not say Rosh Hashanah. I know I didn't. No,
you didn't say it. But you got somewhere near it. You got somewhere.
No, but I know what that is. I don't know what I said. Rumspringa or something like that.
I can't wait to go back and watch what you said.
I know it wasn't Rosh Hashanah. So she just goes on her own little rumspringer or whatever you said. And then she's just having fun. She dies of a heart attack because she's old.
Yeah.
And then he just happens to show up. The same people are probably trying to talk to him like, dude, your mom was really cool. We really liked her. Unfortunately, she died. And then he just mows them down. Like, he kills the first set of kids.
Yeah, immediately. Like, and they're like, what are you doing? Dude, we were just trying to tell you what was going on with your mom. Then they get mowed down.
Because if there's anything that the Book of Boba Fett proved, is that the sand people can be reasoned with.
Oh, clearly.
Dude, it was so ridiculous.
No,
it's your worst henchman. My worst henchman, I'm not even going to give my list. I'm just going to give my top. Is Roadhouse.
They all get their faces beat a lot.
Those are deadbeat dads right there. Every one of them is a dad who has to pay child support.
Yep.
They're dressed like 100%. It is what it is. Even his number one guy with this denim Dan look with who's like, I fucked guys like you in prison. Like, what? Who says that? How is that your threatening move? How is that what you say to Patrick Swayze? That's what you should say to the big guy who gets the polar bear fall on him. Right. Like, that's what you say to him. It's like, that's who you fucking prison. You live in a podunk town. That's what you did. Not Patrick Swayze, the specimen. Like, come on. This dude's doing Tai Chi and there's not an ounce of fat on him. And you're like, I used to fuck guys like you. Like, he's straight up. Like, his whole job is just being a bouncer. That's what you did. That's how you handle things. And anyway, I'm arguing about that dude because he got wickedly proven that he sucks. He tried to cause so much trouble and then straight up first fight, throat ripped out. You're
terrible.
So you're the terrible henchman there.
Right.
But look at the rest of this crew. First of all, you can tell it's like deadbeat dads because they're all dressed like deadbeat dads. Every single one of them has a deadbeat dad look. Even the one dude has the comb over. And then they have to protect his nephew because his nephew's a dullard. He's the Charlie of that town.
Yeah.
So all of these guys suck at their jobs. They get their ass kicked by two bouncers most of the time. They don't do anything. It's horrific. And they're working for this like weird Kansas City mob boss who's not even Kansas City. He like lives in a small town outside of Kansas City and is
he likes to call it that.
Because you're rich, you're like one day just like and his now mind you, his henchmen are interchangeable at any moment. He is,
of course,
Benny the Jet. Not Benny the Jet. That's fucking the other movie. That's the You're Killing Me Smalls movie. Sandlot.
Oh, Sandlot.
Benny the Dragon, the kickboxer back in the day, basically taught everybody how to fight in movies. And he showed up in some stuff, but he's in there for like one scene, and that's the Bigfoot scene when they drive it. And they'll mind you, these henchmen suck, but they can go through anything and do anything they want to do. They can straight up murder people.
Yeah.
The one guy had a knife in his shoe and showed up at a bar. Never seen him before. And then after that, we see him with like the rest of the henchmen for like two other scenes. It just boggles my mind. It's not even an interchangeability. It's like this dude has so much money. He's literally, do you have kids that you don't see? Yeah. Okay. And you don't see them because you don't want to see them, right? Yeah. You're hired. You want to be a bad guy? Yep. Okay. We're going to go beat up some bouncers at the bar. We're gonna muscle the businesses around town into paying us.
They don't. It's the most ridiculous drive to have ever. Like that's where your goal is. Yeah, we're gonna be henchmen, like which is sweet. But in the Henchmen's Guild, we're the guys who beat up the bouncers. Done, bro.
That's it.
That's it. That's your whole gig. That means you get to go drink some beers, then go hang out with the boys, beat the shit out of these other guys who are trying to stop people from beating people up while having a good time.
If your henchmen, if every one of your henchmen not only gets the shit beat out of them all the time by a bouncer, but gets the shit beat out of him, but then at the end, he just mows through you and murders all of them and then murders the bad. He didn't even murder the bad guy. He beat the shit out of the bad guy and walked away. Like, if I'm Brad Wesley in that scene where I'm dying because I just got shot, and I'm like, I just got killed by a bouncer.
Yeah.
Like, who did I hire? Like, what was my muscle here? There's no muscle.
Well, I mean, I equate that 100% with one of the other ones on my list, which is the Foot.
Foot Clan?
The Foot Clan are terrible.
But they were kids, so like I kind of give them a pass.
I don't care what they were. They were built as henchmen that were supposed to be able to help take down and defend the Shredder, and they did none of that. They were unable to take down the enemy of the ninjas. They didn't get to the rat, and they never really defended Shredder because he wound up in a trash compactor at the end.
Yeah, they ran after that. They're like,
they just bolted. Half of them were done before when the big fight even came. They were like, "We're not into this."
But again, I like the recruiting kids. They're doing it like Irish mob style. So I'm like, I get why they run in the end. Like legit, if you're a child, like the oldest one was Sam Rockwell, and he was like 18. Yeah, so like everybody else is like a kid in this. Or no, not the oldest. He wasn't the oldest one, but like there were some older ones that clearly they're conservatives. Think about that for a second. They're children, and they just got their asses kicked by 4 mutant, 6-foot-tall teenage mutant Ninja Turtles. Like if you see that, and then you're one guy who's telling you to do everything that you're really scared of dies, you're rolling. You're like, I'm out.
Oh, you're out. Well, even when the master gets beat up.
Yeah. That's legit. Like he got beat up fast too.
Right in front of everybody.
But tell me, I agree with you on the Foot Clan. They're pretty lousy. But look at these guys. Look at this guy on the end with the shirt and tie and the suit. This dude is an out of work accountant that needed to take the work. And he's sitting there literally saying, like, what am I doing with my life? I'm beating up bouncers.
Nah, but he gets to hang out and do a bunch of blow and drink.
He has to. Like that's what he gets paid. He doesn't even get paid.
That's what they get paid to do, 100%. That crew is paid in cocaine and beer.
Brad Wesley pays all of these men. He's like, I'm not paying you. I'm paying your child support, and you get to drink as much as you want.
And then we're just gonna party. You work for me, and this guy has a Bigfoot.
These are look at this dude and Jesus, look at him. And like everybody's listening to this later, just go back and you know what I'm talking about with Roadhouse. He's wearing a short sleeve button down shirt.
Oh, that guy? Yeah.
Tucked into his khakis. He's got a comb over. He's straight up like, what is happening in this scene? Like, what are you doing right now with your life?
That is a very interesting look, and I don't want to judge a book by its cover.
And you know,
it's not a very promising read.
It's bad when you have 2 bouncers sitting in a diner with a doctor talking about like getting hit with bottles at a bar like it's Nam. This is 75.
Yeah, man.
You know, an angry ex-husband.
Why do people want to fight? That's so stupid. It's so stupid.
You're not my hero.
No.
You're not.
I was a bouncer. Who else do you have on your list of terrible henchmen?
So, all right. There's a lot that can go around on this one. Otis from Superman was pretty fucking bad.
Okay.
He was terrible. But, like, Roadhouse is my number 1. But if you're kind of going through all of Hook's pirates.
Oh, yeah.
Are the worst.
Terrible.
They're just, they literally bump into each other like it's going out of style.
They barely fight. They're all bumbling, and none of them really fight. And they're constantly drunk. You cannot have henchmen who are always inebriated or on opium. It doesn't work well.
What are you talking about? Exhibit fucking A. Roadhouse. I just went over this.
Pirates inherently are not good henchmen because they're free folk who just want to do whatever the fuck they want to do.
They were henchmen.
Pirates generally are not going to be good to work with.
Listen, I have Pluto TV as my TV source, and if I'm not watching the Johnny Depp trial, which I'm doing for work purposes, I'm absolutely watching Roadhouse because it's on. That or Zodiac.
Oh my God.
I love it. All right, so let's see what everybody's saying about theirs. What about stormtroopers that miss every shot and get beat by teddy bears? They're not henchmen. That's an army.
Yeah, it has to be a difference because we also were going to bring up Nazis. And I don't feel like we can bring up Nazis on the whole, but we can bring up General Todt. Or
Radar says the Nazi henchman that lost a fist fight to an airplane propeller. Again, I count that as army. If you're talking about Nazi henchmen, you got to talk about the SS.
Yeah, like the Gestapo leader, Major Todt, the one who gets the thing on his hand.
Going with all the pirates and Peter Pan. Yep. Most of
them
sailors
ever. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, because that ship didn't fucking move.
Well, why did you need 50 of them to put up rigging for a 3-man system?
I don't know. We need to get Blaine back on and just really that's a dissection we need to do is dissect Peter Pan.
Yes.
Just like with Peter Pan himself.
Yep.
All the baddies in command.
An army. No, we can't count it. The baddies.
I think we can. We can count certain ones.
Are you talking about like Sully?
Yeah, well, yeah. You mean Sully's one of them. Bill Duke's character is one of them. I eat green berets for breakfast.
Yeah.
Bennett is definitely a henchman.
Yeah, you know what? Bennett is I forgot. Yep.
But what you guys aren't getting is they're effective henchmen. They did their jobs right. The problem was there was a much more highly trained person coming after them.
John Matrix was the problem they weren't ready for.
Exactly. I love it. You're fucking right there. Hire this man as their voiceover actor. AJ says Clarence Bodiger's crew and RoboCop worse. One gets turned.
They were pretty shitty.
No, again, I maintain they were fine criminals doing their job, and they were evil. They were good henchmen doing all of Ronnie Cox's bidding. They went up against a human cyborg. Like they killed that man. That man, Murphy, should have been dead.
No, actually, they did kill Murphy.
He came back as like RoboCop. Like
RoboCop, spirit of vengeance.
I feel like you can't be counted as a terrible henchman because you lost to something that is greater than you.
Yeah, that's fair. You can't be. Like now, using that theory, Big Trouble in Little China, the 3 Storms were awful henchmen.
They were awful henchmen.
Henchmen.
First of all, what was their plan? What was
they didn't have one. They never had a plan. They just show up and do stuff. They should have ever murdered. Specifically at one point. They just kind of like the only one who you knew was Thunder, who was there basically as the bodyguard for David Lopan. But as far as Lightning, that motherfucker was as random as fuck. He was never around. He was never actually focused on task. He never really did anything. I mean, he did wander around that one time in the suit acting like security. So that was neat.
Even then, it was like, why do you let him in? Why do you not murder them? Just murder them. He didn't do that. They didn't.
And then, or like when you have them in all these different areas when they could have easily killed them, and instead they take them to like, I don't know, one of the 1,000 hells, one of the 700 hells, the hells of the drowned or whatever.
Okay, so if you want to talk about ineptitude, let's talk about OCP's weapons, except for RoboCop. And I maintain that the reason that because there was faulty software in RoboCop, it was Alex Murphy that beat it. So it was the man that won that. Mm-hmm. Ed 209 couldn't walk downstairs.
Yeah, that was a real simple problem. Yeah. That was pure design flaw that they couldn't have had, I don't know, treads. Like, because remember, and here's what messed me up. In the first one, they have that thing with treads, too. They have one with treads. Or was that the second one?
I don't know. No. Which one?
They have a version of Ed 209, but it has the treads.
Oh, that was the second one. That was like, it wasn't 209. Or 209 shows up in the second one. I think that's the one with the treads. But then you have the third, or no, was the treads the remake? Oh my God, why am I blanking? It wasn't the first one. I know that.
You know what? We're gonna have to redo RoboCop too because there's too many gaps there.
We'll do a dissection on that. We'll make a sci-fi month and
sci-fi month next month.
All right. So going back though, so like I maintain, AJ, I'm not saying you're wrong. They did have access to all of OCP's weapons, but their best weapon is what beat them.
Yeah, the best weapon that when merged with man, nothing could stand in its way.
And that's one of my top 10 movies. I love that movie. Mm-hmm. Literally beat by garden tools in an 8x10 shed that he knows he's in there. What movie are we talking? We're so far removed.
I don't know. We jumped around too much. I'm not sure.
Bad guys in the old Charlie Sheen movie, The Wraith. Yeah, but all right. So I maintain so basically The Wraith is this. The Wraith is Fast and Furious, but without Brian ever showing up. Or Brian got killed really early on and became a Wraith.
Okay.
Like that's basically what they are. They're just assholes. They're just
Oh, that's where you're going with it. I wasn't sure where you're going. Like, oh, they're gearheads. No, they're assholes.
they are kind of gearheads. Like that's what they do. They're just asshole murderers too.
Okay, so I've got a really big one that I think is absolutely one of the worst set of all time henchmen ever, and too high profile to go under the radar.
Who?
The Death Eaters from Harry Potter.
I thought they tore things up. I don't remember. I don't know Harry Potter.
Because those dudes, first of all, were not hiding well at all. It's not like people were like, gee, I wonder who the bad guys are. Like, it was pretty blatant.
They should have showed up.
If you're trying to be covert for the first 2-3 movies, they did a real bad job of that.
Which one are the Death Eaters? Is it those ones that fly around?
No. It's like, Bella Lestrange.
Bellatrix
Bellatrix Lestrange and freaking...
yeah, you're right.
Snape and like...
yeah, but Voldemort sucks. Voldemort was terrible.
Voldemort was awful. All right, he was just bad.
Yeah.
And the fact that his Death Eaters were so bad, they're like, we don't want to try to fight because someone might hurt one of us. Because that's the way they acted. Bellatrix was the only one who was getting in the mix, like most of the time.
I will argue this because I did just watch all of the Fantastic Beasts movies to get ready for Secrets of Dumbledore. I like them more than Harry Potter. I think the story's better. I wish they pushed it a little farther. I wish they went a little bit more hardcore with like a war. Mm-hmm. But I dug it. I thought it was really good.
I think Harry Potter is a wonderful thing for what it is. And I think as we are older men, we are want to have more of action-y adventure style with a little bit more edge. And maybe a love story that doesn't involve preteens. Yeah. That's all.
Fair.
It's nice to have that.
Okay, a named henchman then. Number 2 from Austin Powers. How are you going to talk smack and be sarcastic to your boss all the time? If I maintain that he had the good ideas, it was Dr. Evil that was sort of the dippy one in that one.
Well, and number 2 also definitely threw some big money out there. Yeah. Like, they made money. He was successful. He made the company better. He made the world for the bad guys better. So he was a fantastic henchman.
Yeah, there was like at one point where he's like, we have more money than $1 million.
Yeah, he's like, we're way bigger and better than that. Like,
I maintain he's probably a good henchman.
Yeah, he's a fantastic henchman. He's one of the better ones.
How about this? How about Count Rugen's henchman in Princess Bride?
Okay, so Count Rugen.
He's evil.
He's great. He's a good henchman. I like him as a henchman.
He
but
he
hires the City Watch, who just bolts because of the Dread Pirate Roberts.
Yeah, he does roll out real quick.
They all bail. Like the last guy is the gate guard, and he just where's the key? What key? This key?
It's such a good movie. It really is.
So Count Rugen is definitely he's a good henchman because he also has he does everything for his king. He sets a war for him. He's willing to murder. And he's able to operate on his own. I think Count Rugen actually was one of the better henchmen.
But I'm not saying Count Rugen. I'm saying his henchmen.
Oh, his henchmen were shit.
Terrible.
They were dog shit. Yeah. Well, that's like one that actually I kept trying to see if I could circle in Wes from Mad Max to make him a bad one, but he's actually great.
He is pretty great. In fact, I would have
Wells is awesome, and he's a great henchman.
I would have to replace your pick of Darth Vader with Darth Maul.
Okay.
Because Darth Maul was ineffective.
Oh yeah, he just got cut in half. Well, no, he killed one of the main Jedi. He killed a master.
He did kill a Jedi Master. I'm not saying that.
So,
but to what avail? It did nothing.
Yeah, no. It continued exactly what Sidious wanted.
Yeah,
the child was trained, and not only trained, but he was trained by a young Jedi.
Himself,
yeah, so that was kind of screwed up. Carl Vresky in Die Hard is another great one.
Which one's Carl?
He was the blonde-haired guy. Carl.
He's not bad. He wasn't a bad one. He was good.
No, he was a good one. Like I'm trying to see Odd Job was another good one. These are just honorable mentions now.
Yeah, I think we've got a pretty good. I still maintain. I think you have a good list. I still maintain that Roadhouse is just dog shit. But not a movie. I love the movie. It's ridiculous. But those henchmen are nuts. They're nuts.
No, I did want to bring up I did say his name before, Major Tote from Raiders of the Lost Ark. The guy who gets the medallion burned on his hand. Major Tote.
Yeah.
He was a terrible henchman. Now
he was
look,
so ineffective.
He's a Nazi, but he's Gestapo. He's ineffective. He doesn't ever actually do anything to progress.
He's just menacing.
Along. He's just there along for the ride, and then gets his face melted at the end.
In fact, the one job he had, if you think about it, the one job he had in that whole thing was to get the medallion.
And he only did it half right.
But he didn't do it. Yeah, he got it in his hand, but like he didn't do it. Like
he didn't do it. He wasn't able to. You can't take your hand and drill a hole into it and see where the light shines. That's not.
Then they didn't even find like there's just in the end. Like I still it's pretty funny when Big Bang Theory brought that up. I hate that show, but they did bring up like effectively Indiana Jones didn't do anything but make them find it faster.
Yeah. Oh, all he did was help them get there quicker.
The sheriff's henchmen and from Porky's, those kids still snuck in and made a mess of the place all the time. True. Yeah, but I feel bad picking on people from small towns. I've already done it enough with Rhoda.
Yeah, well, let's move it along. We've beat some really interesting corners today.
Yeah. All right. So
one who does deserve some mad love is Xenia on the top too.
From what?
From GoldenEye. Famke Janssen.
Oh yeah, she was.
No, that's a henchman or hench person that I could get on board with.
Was that Famke Janssen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. All right, I was right when I said she. All right, guys. So listen, name more henchmen. Go over to our Discord. The link is on thescenesnobs.com. We'd love to hear more names from you guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. I had a good time with this one. This one was a fun one. We really got into it a little bit. And I also liked our dissection of critters. We don't know what next week's horror movie is, so you can also go to the Discord and you can give us some more ideas of what we should.
Were we not doing Halloween this next round?
No, we're doing Halloween next week.
Oh, next. Okay, word.
Yeah. Next week we haven't decided yet, but you guys can help us decide. Go to the Discord. Make sure you leave it there. Let us know what you think we should talk about. The more obscure, the better. We love it. But
yes, and please make sure that it's at least 3 movies or more. We want to make sure that it can't be 2 movies. We want 3. We want to really get invested in something awful and sink our teeth into the absurdity and see how, things progress. We got to really enjoy watching critters grow and change and become something freaking crazy over the course of a very short period of time. 4 years between number 2 and 4. So
it really is. It's so crazy. And a whole adult Scott Grimes later. So
thank you guys so much. I cannot wait to see what you all come up with for us to watch this week.
Yes, and let us know again more henchmen that you guys think are terrible. Guys, thank you for watching. Again, make sure to check out on Thursday our review of Doctor Strange will be coming out. We will be going from there. And then on May 13th, we will be doing a very special episode, 7 p.m. for the Carolina Fear Fest. Make sure to watch that where we're going to have guests. We're going to dissect Friday the 13th marathon or franchise, and we're going to go from there. You guys are all awesome. I'm going to let my man, Casey, take it away.
Well, thank you so much, my friend. Y'all, it's been a pleasure as always. We appreciate the time you spend with us, and thank you so much for letting us spend the time with you. I'm so grateful, and we hope you all have a fantastic day or evening or morning, or whenever you happen to be listening to this. We appreciate you. We love you. Take care of yourself and be kind to each other.
Couldn't have said it better myself. The only other thing I'm going to add to that is may the 4th be with you. Enjoy Star Wars tomorrow. And here is a picture of Casey and I dressed as Han Solo and Chewbacca. Wow. Thanks for watching and listening, everybody. I'm the Scene Snob, Mick Manhattan. You can check out the Scene Snobs podcast live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern on our YouTube channel or all podcast platforms afterwards. Also on our YouTube channel, you can check out great shows like Real Combat, the ultimate debate show for movie lovers, mixed movie picks with new recommendations every week, Geek Fest Live every Sunday night, and new movie reviews and news all the time. Like and subscribe, then hit the notification bell so you know when all of our new episodes drop. Thank you you so much to all of our amazing Patreon supporters, with whom this would not be possible. They help keep the lights on and support us in such big ways. If you would like to become a supporter on our Patreon and take advantage of all the perks like monthly giveaways, early access, and so much more, head on over to the Scene Snobs Patreon page and just sign up on one of our 2 tiers. Join our awesome community of geeks, movie lovers, and so much more, and join up on our Discord. The Scene Snobs Discord is now live, and you can head over to thescenesnobs.com for links to there and more. The Scene Snobs merch store is now open with original fun designs that are available on all different types of merch and apparel. Check out thescenesnobsmerch.com. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to all of our social media accounts like TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and so many more. We have fun updates, topics, we talk about collectibles, and so much more on there. It's a great time. You can find all of our links to everything on thescenesnobs.com or on our link tree, which are down in the descriptions below. Thanks again, everyone. Stay tuned and stay geeky.